Yes. Hello, good evening. Doctordro here from GamerzPhilippines, and this will be my very first gaming video. Well, actually, this is my first gaming video. I wasn't really a big fan of it, and I'm just usually a lurker who just watches other people's videos, like stuff Angry Video Nerd uploads or Stan Bergman, and I decided to change it a little bit, just do a little something for my group. So, I'm going to do a game review of a pretty old game. So, as you can see, the difference between... Oh, sorry. Yes, I do have a text message. Sorry about that. Anyway, you've probably seen game reviews of old. And usually what they do is they play the game first and they tell you how bad or how good it is. What I'm going to do is slightly different. I'm going to be picking a game that I haven't touched in my entire life, meaning I haven't played it at a friend's house, and I haven't had the game myself, or even actually I haven't even noticed that the game did exist. And I'm going to start with Felix the Cat. So for those who don't know, Felix the Cat is one of the first cartoon characters ever created. He was very popular in the silent film era, so that was the era of Charlie Chaplin. Those silent films where the only music you can hear is from a pianist in the theater. So he's the only one who's making the funny piano sounds depending on the scene. Okay, so let me start. So at first glance, you've seen how Felix the Cat plays. So it's your typical platformer. The good thing about the Felix the Cat is it was made in 1992. So at this point, the SNES has been released. Super Mario World has been released. It's already the start of the 16-bit era, but it doesn't mean that Hudson Soft stopped making platformers, because the NES was still selling strong at the time. So let's just give it a try, enough talk. Okay, so let me just push the start button. Ring, ring! Okay, so Felix the Cat picks up the phone. If you don't want to give me the bag, I'll get it from you anyway. Click. It's just your usual run-of-the-mill platformer. Very dull storyline, but then again, this was the early gaming era, so I can blame them. Anyway, what is important is the gameplay. So let's see if it plays similar to a game that I loved when I was a kid, Tiny Toons. The graphics of Tiny Toons is much better than this. It looks sharper than the square pixelated side you see here on Felix the Cat. Controls are pretty easy. It is very responsive, actually. Let's try getting that cat icon and see what it does. Okay, now I don't know what it does, but I do see something at the bottom. Is this okay? So Felix the Cat uses a punching glove. Alright. Okay, that's not hard. It's not hard to kill an... Oh, okay. So that's it? One hit and I'm dead. Alright. That sucks. But then again, of course, I cannot say that a game is bad because of this. Maybe I just have bad gaming skills, or I haven't played platformers in a while. So let's just try again. And I still don't have a clue what these Felix the Cat icons does. Okay, now... Oh, maybe that's it. Okay, so after I got 10 of those, I noticed that Felix the Cat sported a hat and a cane, and whenever I press the B button, he does this really like, okay, look at me, I'm fabulous thing, with stars all around him, and I was hit by an enemy and was gone. Okay, well, it's your typical platformer. Like I said, again, you couldn't really expect an innovative game at this time. Let me just try to get that, and there we go. A spring. Let me get there. Seems pretty easy. Not much enemies. Let me see if I can get all of... Okay, so that's it. And I've turned into that fabulous Felix the Cat again. graphics are pretty okay. Well, again, as expected from a NES game, you'd see a lot of repeat animation, like these two tree trunks here. Okay, so okay, look at me, 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 look at me. Let me just kill this tree trunk right here. Ah, wow. Okay, what does those exclamation points do? They don't. Okay, there's milk. Okay. Now what do these milk bottles do? I don't really have a clue. Okay, there's a timer down below. I think I should really rush it. Let me kill you. I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to gaming. I just like to beat everything up on my path. You could call me someone who has an OCD when it comes to games. That's why sometimes I can't finish an RPG, because if the best example would be Final Fantasy X2. I didn't finish that game because there's like a percentage, and I noticed that when I was nearing the end, I noticed that I haven't really completed much. Okay, I'm dead. I wouldn't really say that the game is bad because of that again, and maybe it's just me because I'm talking and doing two things at the same time. Your typical platformers is nothing bad, really. Okay, so there again. It's game over for me. Let's just give it another try before I call it a day. This time I'll just talk less. Okay, let me just rush to the end now. Hey, tree trunk. Hey, mouse. You know what? I have not learned my lesson. I should have not tried touching that tree trunk anyway, because no matter what I do, if I stomp on it or I punch it, you know, it does not kill it. It kills me. That sucks. Okay, so there's that chick cat. I'm not really sure what the name is, and whew. Let me just rush through this one so I can show you at least the next stage. Come on. I don't care about you Felix the Cat icons anymore. Well, yeah, I somewhat do. So I'm still getting it. Ugly tree trunks. What's the point of you being there? What's the point of the punching glove if I can't kill you just by punching you? At least I can kill these... What's that Pokemon character that... I think it's the Rattata. And there's this Ragnarok character, the Willow. the enemy, and... Yay! Finally, I reach a goal. And... I'm expecting the... Sorry, Mario, but she's in another castle thing. Still the same sound, same enemies, just a different look. And look, they rip it off from Super Mario World, or in Super Mario 3, the jumping fish. Anyways, it's easier to predict where the fish is going because it's only jumping just up and down, unlike in Mario where it's jumping from somewhere. I knew I was going to die. I didn't press the jump button much. It's a game over again for me. At least I started at the start of the second stage. I didn't start from the beginning. And I noticed I already had several continues, and still not really give me a real game over screen so far. I didn't really look to see if there's unlimited continues or not. That's okay. The controls are pretty okay, really. Depending on how I press the button, you know, Felix the cat would jump near or far, and I was able to get to that hurdle pretty easily. The controls are pretty good, really. It just isn't as fun as Tiny Toons, perhaps, because Tiny Toons, you know, it was really fun to stomp on enemies and stomp on their heads, and you use a lot of power-ups. You know, well, sorry about that. So, continuing where we left off, I was just giving my opinion on Tiny Toons. Well, between the two, I still think Tiny Toons is the better one, and I think there's a reason why it's also more popular amongst us kids back then. Felix again, it's not exactly a bad game. It just isn't as fun. And the good thing about it is I died in that level, but it started me right off. There was like a hidden checkpoint in the middle, so that's just a great one. By the way, yeah, I have a Facebook message. Sorry about that. Still, it's not as bad as the other games out there. I won't name them, but I'll surely be encountering a game in the future which I could say is bad. This is the type of game that I wouldn't really look for. Maybe, you know, if it just happened to have it, or if like a friend has it, you know, I'll just borrow it and just finish it in a day or two tops, and then I will return it. It's nothing really memorable. Just to let you know, this is not really okay, so I only have one continue left, so there's really no unlimited continues in this game, but that's pretty okay. The good thing about these types of games is sometimes they start bad, and then you play it every day, because your family can only afford so much. You know, you can only buy, let's say, 2 or 3 games a year, depending if there's an occasion. So most of us kids would borrow from someone else, or would ask for 2 or 3 games in a year, usually on our birthdays. Because there was not much games back then, we really would strive to finish a game from start to finish. And this is one of those games. And I know that you could get better at this. Eventually, you'll memorize the hurdles, the pits, the location of the enemies. So let me just say, this is not really an official review of the game, so this is just my first impression of Felix the Cat. For those who just want to go back to the 80s, 90s era of gaming, I say please do. This is Video Game 101 for everyone. It's really important for you to know the history of gaming, you know, how we started, how you get to enjoy the games that you're having right now. Because right now, I'm really getting tired of FPS. If back then there's too much platformers, right now there's just too much FPS going on. I'm just getting tired of that. So I just decided to go back to gaming, the gaming experience when I was a kid. Well, as for my verdict on this game, I give it a 7 out of 10, so I think it's a fair score, considering the controls are pretty okay. There's not much story in it. Again, in my era, story really doesn't matter as long as you're having fun. It's quite challenging too, and I also like a little challenge in my games. Well, just not too much challenge like there is in Double Dragon 3. That game is impossible to beat. Or the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game for the NES. That game's so impossibly hard. This one, I know, even if I didn't really give much time to it, I know that this can be finished. Given enough practice, given enough time, if I spend a lot of time in it, I know that eventually I'll get through the hard parts. And so I won't really do a thorough playthrough of the game. I'm not really a big fan of playthroughs, unlike my counterparts in GamerzPhilippines, but there you go. So this is my first gaming commentary video. Well, see, so I'm really eager to get into this part. I'll still play Felix the Cat when I have time, and I'm eager to get to this part. So he's using a kayak, and it's really good. So I was really expecting a bad game, but it turns out I don't really have to scream at the top of my lungs. It's a pretty good game, actually. It's just quite challenging because all you need to be, all you need is just one hit to call it a day before Felix the Cat expires. So that's it. Thanks so much for your time. If you have any comments or suggestions on how I can improve my videos, just let me know at the bottom. Okay. Again, just don't blame me too much. Again, just cut me some slack. I'm a starter. This is my first commentary video. Actually, it's really technically my first gaming video, and the only reason why I'm doing it is because of the GamerzPhilippines. I'm very thankful to these guys for making me a part of their group. Well, I don't really see it as a group, because most of us would visit each other's places, and we would hang out together. I really consider them my friends too. Thank you, Terrence, for inviting me. Aaron's is the one who made me join the team, but it was really Terrence who I knew at first, and I really appreciate you making me part of it. Damn, I'm just cutting on this. I'm just kidding. Anyway, enough of this gay stuff. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.